Mikey, the Winkle. We're back.
Motherfucking Chewy right here. Hell yeah, we're fucking back, motherfucker. Give me some. Been a while. All you guys listening, whoever listens to us, my very faithful 6 people that ever watch my videos. Thank you guys for joining. Welcome back. It's been a long time. My bad. Shout out to those 6 people. I don't know your names, but you know who you are. We got here screaming fucking Chewy, Pendejo, the verified torta pounder, motherfucking bender himself, right here. Chewy, what's up, man?
So yeah, let's take a drink, bro. It's been a while. I said we'll take a drink.
Hell yeah, let's do a drink real fast, of our orange juice. Una, dos, tres.
Salud. And so
Kool-Aid, strip the paint.
Dreamcore conversations, right? We're back.
What are we? Episode 7? No, 8. I think
it's 8. Yeah, but
episode 8.
But there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, right? We talk about everything and anything,
everything,
trippy shit, emotional stuff, or just retarded stuff, or silly stuff, just natural conversations, But I do want to mention, so on my podcast, Screaming Chewy Show, I had one of my episodes taken down, right? Now, this one was recorded during COVID, right? And I would do collaborations with a fellow podcaster, Drew Quantavious D, and his podcast was called DWO, Drew World Order. All he did was conspiracies, but he would drop facts and stuff, like, he backed it up. And what's crazy is, so I did an episode with him on my podcast. We called it Conspiracy Hour. We talked about certain politicians and people that were on a certain list, a list that came out recently, right? The Schnepstein list. I'm just going to call it that.
Schnepstein list. But, we'll talk about that. My bad. Yeah. My little brother.
No worries.
He's in the room, but he left out the room.
But, so, we talked about stuff like that, about, certain, powers, up there in the government. We talked about stuff that are on that list that they did. I'm not going to go into detail with that, right? But Spotify recently took that down this year. Weird.
Interdasting.
But, just figured.
We know why. Because they're making the frogs gay.
They're making the freaking frogs gay. The government.
Which was scientifically proven correct. It's crazy about that one. But yeah. He was
right.
Crazy.
He worded it retarded, but or dumb, but he was right. He had a point.
He knew what he was talking about.
But do you have any conspiracy? Wait, what?
Sorry. Your cheeks are all red, bro. They got pimples all over them and shit. Eat pizza all week in the fucking. Never mind.
Pizza, bro. I love pizza. Oh wait, not that kind.
No, pineapple.
But yeah, I was wondering if.
No, I actually want to say that I actually do have a podcast for you and conspiracy theory for you. Check this out. I don't know where in Brazil. I had to do my research. It was off these dudes. My brother was telling me about these dudes. They do a podcast together. They talk about crazy conspiracies and stuff that happen. Forget their names. The Jump or something like that. It's not what's it called? The other Jump that everyone knows about. So there's it's these 2 dudes. They're dope as hell. Whenever I get the chance, I will insert their YouTube into the description. Provided.
But
these dudes, they're talking about some church in Brazil. These nuns were it was like a all women's nun. It was like a convent, and they're praying for help to build the basement to their church. And no one was reaching out. No one was talking to them. They couldn't find anybody that would do it. And some random dude comes to the church, knocks on the door. They let him, they talk to him. He talks to them. He's like, check this out. I want to build your basement. I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to waste your time. I just want to go down there. It'll take me a few days, and I'll have your basement built. Why not? They're like, so they let him in.
Good deal.
And he ended up going down there, 9 days it took him, or like 7 days or 8 days, something like that. It took him to build this basement perfectly. They went down there. The stairs don't even have a fucking a pole. Like, you know how most stairs they spiral down. There's like a little pillar in the middle, like where there's cement or wood or whatever, or metal
to hold it up,
kind of holds the stairs. There was none. It was just perfectly built. You didn't need a pole to walk down. To go down these stairs. And then they tested the wood because this guy, since he finished, disappeared. Just
ghosted.
He didn't even say them. He didn't even tell them like, hey, have a great time or whatever. I built it. I finished. You're good. Nothing. He just left. They ended up grabbing a piece of the wood and they analyzed it. That wood's not anywhere on Earth.
Wait, what? What?
The wood's nowhere on Earth. That type of wood does not grow on Earth. It came back inconclusive. They couldn't find out what type of wood it was.
What the fuck?
They're speculating that it could be wood from the Garden of Eden. That was Jesus that built that for them.
Bro, what the fuck?
I want to find the exact specific the link or whatever, and when I do find the link, I will drop it in the description, and I will drop the link to those other dudes' YouTube in the description too. But it was like, it's baffling. Like, no one knows where that wood came from. And the same thing with Mount Sinai, or Sinai, or whatever, however you say that. I'm dyslexic, all right, people. But
he really is. He really is. But yeah.
But apparently they found the Noah's Ark, in the mountain of Mount Sinai.
Wait, what?
They found the
dug
Noah's
it up,
Ark. Like, it's in the ground, like massive, crazy, massive boat. Now they're saying that maybe you wouldn't be able to fit 2 of every single animal on there. Like, it's not that big, but it's massive, like
the Titanic.
Like, if you were to get these buildings, all 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 buildings, and you were to put them side by side, it's like way bigger than that. Like, it's crazy big. It's buried in a mountain.
What?
But I don't think you'd be able to like get 2 of every single animal on that boat. But it was speculated that they did, and that's the boat, Noah's boat, and or Noah's Ark, and it's like hinting towards the fact that the biblical stuff may have happened. It's like
true
proof or whatever. Yeah. Tripping me out, bro. I've been doing my research on it. They won't let no one near it. No one can go up that mountain. No one can check their archives. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah,
it's heavily guarded.
Yeah, and the Vatican and the church, they have vaults with books that people haven't read for hundreds of years, maybe thousands.
The archives. Archives.
That's fucking wild.
Also, no, we're not gonna get into that because that's an instant. They're gonna cancel us or whatever for saying this. I'm not gonna say this. Yeah, they might.
Fucking
salute,
bro, salute.
But what have you learned lately? Look, you drinking without me, man. Let me drink some Kool-Aid too, bro.
Salute.
Salute. Oh, wait, yeah, I know. I was saying salute because I thought you were sneezing.
My bad, bro. I'm drunk.
He's drunk on Kool-Aid, guys, off life.
I mean, yeah, drunk
where I throw the lid at? I don't even know where I threw the lid of my Kool-Aid at. You know what that means? No, I'm kidding.
But all right, I'll wait till you take a drink.
There we go.
Guys,
I did.
Wait, what happened? Yeah,
I took a drink. Hell yeah, that's it. That Kool-Aid goes down like anger, man. It goes down like hate speech.
Smooth. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
but I was gonna say, it's crazy how I don't care what side you're on, left or right. I think there's extremes on both ends, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
just see them arguing and pointing fingers, but they don't realize that it's all the same gears working together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they do not realize that they are getting fucked, or you know what I mean? Like it's crazy because if you look at the facts, they're all getting screwed on both sides. We are all getting screwed.
Everybody is.
But these people, left or right, when they're that extreme, they're both blind. You know what I mean? It's fucking insane. And
Every single political parties have it. Every
yep.
single political party has it. Like the majority of them are just blinded by the illusion of this political thing is important. It's viable. It's physical. It's not physical. None of it's important. It's an ideology. It's an idea. It's literally 100 years from now, it's not going to exist.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because on both sides, they always talk about fighting against the government, but both of them never do, and because if you really, and I know there's protests and, there's things that happen, right? But like, how big of a difference is that making, And like, there's many examples throughout history, and not even the United States, but other countries as well,
Venezuela.
Yep. There's examples of the government, their tyranny, and what happens, how it can ruin the country. And the people pay for it. They won't. They got their bunkers. They got everything. They're ready. If anything happens, they got their fucking safe place. You don't. They don't care about you. You're not invited. But a lot of people don't realize that. They're
like, you're not repopulating the earth. Me and my family are.
Facts, exactly, bro. But they don't understand that. No, but that's how it is.
This world's screwed.
And I think
it's just everyone's stingy. They're selfish.
They are.
It's all me, my life. I'm the main character of my life. We're all in this bitch together.
Yep.
We all matter. If that whole group of people fails and this group of people doesn't fail, there's someone in that group that was meant to change the world for the better. That was meant to do something really good for the world.
Yes.
And since he died, they're all screwed in the future.
Yep.
Bastards. And my bad. I'm sorry. I keep cutting you off.
No, you're right. That's 100%. That's a good example, And it's crazy if you look back through history, just the history of violence, But
think about it. Joseph Stalin, fucking what's his name? Fidel Castro. The list can go on and on and on. And so I name names that aren't supposed to be named on the internet. You know what I mean? But yeah.
But there's also a lot of examples of when the government was tyranny. Even the U.S. or other parts of the world. And the people fought back and won, right? But that's not happening no more. Like that. Do you really think, this could be controversial? But do you really think a revolution would happen? Because nowadays, yeah. And
sorry, I didn't mean to shake my head already when you haven't even finished your sentence, but no.
No, but you're right. You're right.
It's fun to think about. It's fun to conceptualize, but it's not real.
Yeah.
It can't happen because the government that everyone's mad about or mad at or want to put down or want to get rid of or de-established or whatever, they control too much. They control your way of life, your internet, your way of peace, like
your image.
They can get you and put you in a box with no windows, half of a door, and a little circle for cold air to come in and out of, and keep you there for the rest of your life.
Yep.
And anyone agrees with you, they're putting you in another right next door.
Yep.
With walls so thick and non-hollow that if you hit the door with the damn hammer, your next door neighbor couldn't even hear you. You're in there, like they can put you in there for what they wanted for the rest of your life.
And they could just be like because they could pay certain people from local police or the coroner. Like, oh, he just died like this. You're gone. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
They mourn you, and that's it. They have no idea what you're actually going through. If theoretically that happened, but that's fucking.
I'm gonna give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
I forget when it was, but in Mexico, they had this one dude made a cartel. Well, they made a group, like a thing. There was a whole bunch of people that lived local and in surrounding cities and stuff like that. They were tired of the cartel's bullshit, tired of it. So they banded together and they started rounding up cartel leaders and informers and head people and stuff like that, and they were killing them. I mean, my bad. Sorry,
unalive.
Cut that word out. But they were disappearing them. They're deleting them. There you go. That word, I like that. They were deleting these leaders, these people, these head foos, and the guy's name, I forget his name. I want to say his name was Smurf or something like that, Papa Smurf or something like that. But they ended up getting so big and so big, like the group, and they had these shirts on, and they would wear these shirts whenever they'd get rid of these leaders and stuff. When they would delete these leaders, and it got to the point where they were like, oh, well, I know that this guy is going to be in this town at this specific date around this time, So they were going and occupying houses in the surrounding area so they can get the jump on the fool whenever he was there. Well, it got to the point where everyone was joining. Everyone was just, it's as simple as you go down the street, you go to the store, you buy the shirt, you put the shirt on, put the words on, and boom, you're part of their group now.
You're part of their
quote unquote cartel. They ended up becoming a cartel at some point. It's just fast forward or whatever, but practically they were able to put these shirts on, and they were just going to these houses and just knocking on the door, boom 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 boom, we're taking over your house, we need to use it because we're going to be getting rid of some guy, and then the families are like, oh no, go choose someone else's house. No, you get out of your house or we're gonna delete you right now and your whole family. Damn. And they're saying, but it's for the greater good, and so the family would have to, vamoose, and they'd go in there and they'd just be in there drinking and smoking and breaking stuff and just eating all their food. And then, oh, my bad, the guy wasn't here after all. He caught on to us and he left. No, they were bullshitting. It got to the point where this group of maybe 1,000 turned into like a group of 70,000, I guess, or 80,000. It's a big number. I'll look up the numbers when I can in the future. But they ended up making their own cartel, and the leaders, it was a dude, Papa Smurf, and then his two homeboys. It was a little short, fat Mexican dude, and then a tall, skinny, kind of quiet homeboy or whatever. And those three ended up becoming the founders of this cartel, and they ended up controlling it. While oh boy, the main leader of the cartel ended up finding, he loved females. So he was married, but then ended up having a girlfriend on the side, and this girlfriend on the side, and that girl, and this girl, and he started doing drugs. And then the little short, fat Mexican dude, he was just kind of just excessivo, he just ate a lot, drank a lot, smoked a lot, whatever,
did everything,
everything. And the skinny, tall dude, whatever the hell, he was just. We'll get into him later. Well, they ended up conspiring against old boy from the inside out and getting deleting the main leader. And then the little short fat dude, he took over. They deleted him too. Comes to find out that the tall, skinny, quiet dude was plotting on them the whole time, took over the cartel. And they're a cartel. I want to say they're still a cartel unless they disbanded and they got rid of him too. I had to look into that too. But what I'm getting at with this whole thing is that in America or in Brazil or in whatever, fake. Let's use a fake country for example, because I don't feel comfortable using America.
Something
for example,
theoretical.
Let's say this country called La Disco, whatever. They ended up hating their government. They wanted to get rid of their government. So they get friends. Boom, 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 boom. And everyone starts joining and they start gathering this big crowd of people that are against the government and whatever. It's not easy. It's not hard for the said government to just be like, hey, we put you in this school for 20 years to just raise you just to know what's it called? Infiltrate. Infiltration. Boom. I'm gonna put you over here in this city. I'm gonna put you over here in that city. I'm gonna put you in that state, this state. Boom, 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 boom. And they start off, hey guys, nice to meet you. What are you doing with your Saturdays? Oh, we go to this class. Oh, can I go to your class? Why not? Bring you to the class. Old class is just the fucking meeting grounds to get, the meetings to plan how they're gonna get rid of the said government, and now this person's infiltrated that class. This guy's infiltrated that class. This guy's infiltrated that class, in all these different cities and all these different states and all these different countries. And boom, now the whole organization that's founded on fixing everything for the better good, just like in Mexico, they were planning on getting rid of all the cartels and bringing peace back to the land. Little by little, cartel fools and gangsters and fools started joining their cartels and stuff.
Bro.
And they destroyed it from the inside out. The same as how it could happen in, any country, I guess you can say. Any government right now. Any government
doesn't have to be anything, but
any country that wants the government takedown or I guess you can say recalibration, want to fix it a little bit, make it a little bit better, change a few things. It would never work for the simple fact of infiltration and stuff like that. And even if there is no infiltration, instead, whatever, it's paranoia. You're going to be paranoid the whole time, thinking that there are infiltrators. You're going to be hurting good people, or you're going to hurt yourself, and it's never going to come to fruition.
Yep.
I know I just went on a crazy ass ramble right now. My bad.
I love that.
But it's that. There could not be a government takedown anywhere for the simple fact that there's too many variables in it. There's too many thoughts and ideas,
And what's even crazier is that nowadays you don't really need, when you say a revolution, right? If we try and revolt against our own government right now, theoretically, right?
Theoretically,
just for the bit, you don't really need. You will need guns, obviously, but not as bad as back in the day because of technology, right? So what would be more effective is proof, because whatever government, they have to keep an image, right? They need followers in order to thrive. Without those followers, they're nobody, right? So they need people that are brainwashed and whatever you want to call it, but people that follow them no matter what they do, right? Like a president could say like, oh yeah, I could kill somebody and get away with it, and people still love me, and people still follow him. That says a lot, right?
A lot.
And so,
a lot about the people.
Yep. So with technology nowadays, you could use actual proof, right? Like the Snapshot files, or just court documents, stuff like that. But the sad part is, their followers still do not believe it. That's the scary part. That shows how much power they got, But I'll just say an example that you will need guns, because you will be attacked, right? There, it is a government.
We'll call them salads. We'll call them salads. You will need salads. You can't get away with it without salads,
because wherever you're at, it will be a government, and they are armed with salads, But for the most part nowadays, with the right technology and the right proof, you can do a lot more damage, because politicians love to lie, right? They use words. Now, words, they're like a fart in the wind. You know what I mean? But if you have documents, paperwork, and you expose that
turns into a shit. More physical now.
But yeah.
My bad.
So, if you ask me if there were ever to be something like that, a revolution or, something like that, it would be a lot more technologically advanced. But we would still need, old school tools like salads.
Definitely. Well, I mean, hey, think about it like this. Russia, right? What is it, 1930s or the 40s was when my hands died. In the 1930s or 1940s, I want to look into the date again too for that. But the whole falling of Nicholas III, or was it Nicholas II? Something like that. He was the Tsar of Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it was as simple as people were tired of the way he was running stuff, how he was, taking their property for advantage, like literally was like, I own all of this. Everything you guys make, I own, and I will redistribute it amongst all you guys because you guys are too young and too naive to distribute it right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, tired of that shit. They were like, dude, who told you can own everything? Who told you that I was growing this whole 17 sunflowers for you?
Yeah, who made you king? The fuck?
He did. The government did. So what happened? All the people got their salads, long salads at that too.
Oh.
And they took their salads to his house, and they deleted all of his staff. Everybody.
Oh shit!
Grabbed him, and they deleted him at salad point.
Dude,
whole family,
gangster.
Him, his daughters, his son, who was like a little pipsqueak, and his wife, and the maids, I believe too.
All deleted.
They put them upside down and deleted them at salad point.
That's wow, bro. No fucks
and then
given.
They threw them into a gigantic hole. And they how do I say this? They threw them a birthday party with, fireworks. There you go. And they ended up, they that's where the story of Princess Anastasia came from. Yeah, they were creamed. No, the story of Anastasia was that they thought, and this is where Disney screwed up. They made the movie. They jumped the gun. They jumped the salad. They ended up they made a movie about her because they couldn't find Princess Anastasia. She was one of the youngest, I believe, the youngest of the kids of Nicholas III, or the second czar, the third czar's. It was a third Nicholas III because he was the third and last czar. They ended up. She was the youngest, and when they went back into the hole, they ended up, taking everything out, all the evidence, and they couldn't find her bones. So they were like, she must have got away. The White House has, quote unquote, secret tunnels all throughout the whole White House and stuff. So they say, allegedly. They were like, I guess that was the same thing with the Tsar's house, the big mansion. It was supposedly had a lot of trap doors and stuff, and they were thinking that, maybe one of the maids helped her escape, and they ended up making the movie Princess Anastasia. The world was like freaking out. Where can she be? Because they thought it was a real thing. They were like, where can she be? She must be at least this old by now, or that old by now. They went back to the site. They dug it all up, and they found hers at the very, 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 very bottom, under all the ash, under rocks and stuff like that. Her little bones were so brittle, so little, that they fell through the cracks and all this stuff to the very bottom of the pit. But Disney had already released the movie, and they can't just, take the movie away and be like, never happened. No, it was all over the place. It was a worldwide movie.
They could just be like, it's just a movie. That's it.
And they found her, but that's, I'm going too far. I digress. That's where the example of, of a revolution comes from. All it takes is just the people being so fed up, so tired of the way that the government's owning everything. We can't fish without being told we're allowed to for a fee. We can't grow vegetables without being told to that we can without a fee. We can't build a house without being told that we can with the paid allowance. We can't do anything. You can't even shit in public without being told you can. You know what I mean? Like everything
in some states, you can't even collect rainwater.
You can't. California, I believe you're not allowed to. It's illegal.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
Right.
It's insane. That's insane.
In a place where they go through droughts, water droughts, you can't collect rainwater.
It makes the perfect sense to do it, but they're like, because it can collect germs, and then there could be leeches, and then tadpoles will form, and then mosquitoes, and shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. If there's mosquitoes, I want to deal with it. If I'm collecting a fuck ton of water, then I know that mosquitoes are gonna come. So I'm gonna take the precautionary steps to make sure the mosquitoes don't get too far, don't even attack anyone near me.
Yeah.
Because I want the water collected. Obviously, I'm gonna filtrate it, right? I'm gonna make it filtered and stuff like that. But no.
Exactly.
Oh, well then you can with a fee.
Yep.
With a fee, an allowance. And then we'll allow you to. That's all allowance is. That's all allowance is. If you think about it, take the word apart, allowance is, and allowances usually come with legal tender. So an allowance is just practically saying we're giving you this, and with this money you're allowed to live. That's an allowance because we're giving you an allowed way to live. Allowance is allowing you to drive, and allowance is allowing you to live here at this house for a paid allowance a month.
They need their cut for everything. Yep. No. Everything. You want to start a business? Pay me.
Exactly. Dude, there's this guy I want to tell you about. There's this video. You can check it out. You guys can all check it out too. It's on YouTube. Hopefully it doesn't get But the video is called "The Fall of the American Dream."
Oh.
And the fall of the American dream is debt.
Definitely.
Debt destroyed the American dream.
Yep.
Like back then, apparently you could I'm gonna throw an example because this is the example was used in the video that I saw, and you guys will see if you guys watch it. It is this dude's chilling at a bazaar, like at a what we call now a ramate, and he's selling meat pies, and people love them. They're eating them. They're fucking them up, and he's making a lot of money. And he's making a lot of trade, and he's trading for this, trading for that, some cloth, some metal, or some whatever, and they're like, this guy comes up with a whole bunch of baskets of berries and was like, I want one of your meat pies. I'll give you 6 baskets of berries for 1 meat pie. The owner of the meat pies is like, no, I don't want your berries. They're dirty. You don't know where you got them from. I don't know if you washed them. I don't like them. They're all smushy. They're old. I don't like them.
He could have stolen them. The guy, bro, he knows.
Well, yeah, like the guy that owns the berries really wants that meat pie. So he's like, well, I want your pies. He's like, well, you can't get it. Get out of here. I'm not selling to you. We're not trading. No bartering. So then they ended up coming up with gold. It's pretty. It's shiny. And you can turn it into things like rings and earrings and like spoons and stuff, they're like, oh shit, So then people started collecting as much of it as they can, and they ended up taking little chunks off of it, and they can make little chunks, and they all weigh the same practically. And so they'd go to the same guy that's on the meat pies and be like, hey, I know you don't want my berries, but would you like this? The guy looks at it. This is cool. I'll take it. How many are you giving me? I'll give you 3 for 1 pie. Cool. So he's selling, and now it goes from bartering to I'll do some bartering, but if you have that gold stuff, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Everyone's starting to collect this gold stuff, and everyone started, selling stuff or trading stuff for that gold stuff, that ore, that rock, that piece of dirt that's been turned into a mineral out of thousands of billions of millions of years, whatever. All of this is dirt. That's all it is. But they ended up or evolved dirt, whatever you want to call it. But they're all taking it in. Everyone's taking it. And then finally, this guy that's selling meat pies has sold all of his pies and has a big old pile of evolved dirt. Some random dude goes up and just yoink and then just runs,
What?
Can't stop him. Can't stop him. The guy's running too fast. You can't catch him. You've been eating meat pies your whole life. You're too fat. You're not gonna catch him. The guy's a professional runner, You're screwed.
Yeah.
So this guy comes around saying, I can keep it safe for you. I have a place where I can keep it in this big old metal box. No one can get to it. But
the Rothschilds.
I'm gonna charge you to put it in there. The guy that's selling meat pies is like, why would I do something stupid like that? I don't trust you. I don't know who you are. How do I benefit off this? How do you benefit off this? The guy's like, check it out. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to put it in this box. And then I'm going to give you this. It's a paper that says good for 1 piece of gold.
Yep.
The guy's like, all right. Well,
the dollar.
Will it work? Well, yeah, they're doing it and they're doing it. They're using, everyone's using it now. Why not? Why don't you want to jump on the train? Everyone's doing it. Look at this big old box full of gold. That's how many people trust me. All right. I'm gonna give you this gold, but this paper can work anywhere. Yes, you can take this paper to any place. They'll take it because they know that they can come to this building and they can get a piece of gold. All right, fuck it, why not? The guy goes, I got 11 pieces. I want 11 pieces of paper that say that good for 1 gold. All right, cool. The guy realizes, holy shit, everyone's taking these papers. I've got all this gold. I'll just give some of this gold to that guy over there to make me some more of this paper, and then I could print more things that say good for 1 gold, good for 1 gold. Oh shit, I'm making too much paper. Now I gotta change it because now it's not, it's not the equivalent, the exchange, because all these people are wanting their, they're coming to get gold and stuff. So now it's good for half a piece of gold. Now it's good for a quarter of a piece of gold.
Yep. Now you can make your own price.
Well, that's the 25 cent. That's 50 cent. That's $1. You know what I mean? Well, the guy in the video says, what if everyone were to decide to go back and get all their gold? Everyone just decided to go back to that place and turn their papers in. Well, for every piece of gold, there's 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 100 papers that say good for a quarter. There's over a crazy amount of 100, maybe almost 1,000 pieces of paper that say good for half a piece of gold. And then there's a stupid crazy amount of fucking papers that say good for 1 piece of gold. If they were to all go back there, there's way more of that paper than there is that gold. They open that vault, that gold's gone. What do you think they did to that guy?
They delete him. Yep.
Without salads. Without salads. Because back then in the old days, there was 3 things you never messed with. You never messed with the man's wife. You never messed with the man's trust or something like that. And you never mess with the man's money.
That's wild.
Adios. And that was the beginning of the bank, the first bank, which made debt, because people were in debt because they wanted, practically it was like, we'll front you this amount of gold.
Yep.
We'll front you this gold, and you'll pay us back as you collect pieces of paper that say whatever. But when you bring these papers in, we're not gonna give you anything. We're just gonna take off how much you owe us, how much gold you gave. We gave you 100 pieces of gold. You take in these papers, you collect 10 of them. That's 10 pieces of gold taken off. You only owe us 90 now. But wait, because I have to wait for so long, I hate waiting. I'm impatient. I'm actually gonna charge you a quarter of a piece of gold every day you don't turn it in. So the guy's not making any paper. He's not making any sales. The gold's going from 100 pieces. He's thinking, in 10 days I could pay this guy off 10 pieces of paper every single day. No, it took way longer than that because the guy's not making any sales. He's not making any money. That's the reason why he needed the gold in the first place. Now it went up from 100 pieces of gold. Now the guy owes him 1,000 pieces of gold. Well, they're like, okay, well, you can't pay us with gold. You can't pay us with paper. We'll take your house. We'll take your dog. We'll take your what did they used to teleport? Well, not teleport. What is it? Transportation back then. We'll take your cart. We'll take your donkey too, and we're taking the water you drink.
Everything.
That's how they do it nowadays.
Yeah, they do.
You can't pay the bank back. They'll take your house, your car, your electricity, your Wi-Fi. They'll take your dog if they can, bro. They'll take your wife too.
And that's how they control you, debt. But what's funny is that a lot of governments are also controlled by debt. The United States, we don't print our own money, right?
Oh yeah, no. The what is it called? Is the IRS, or what are they called? They're the federal bank. They're their own. They're their own entity.
Yep.
The video that I was talking about goes in on that.
Yep.
They don't own. The president can't walk into the money print, the print house, whatever you want to call it. The president can't go in there. No elected official can go into that building. No American citizen can go into that building. No anybody in the world aside from that private entity can go into that building.
Or the Rockefeller Center, right? Where they would have all the gold, because you know how you were talking about trading gold for paper. So where they store the gold, that was a Rockefeller Center, heavily guarded, right? And nobody really knows how much gold is in there, right? But was it Nixon, or I could be wrong, I forgot what president, but maybe the late 80s, around there, they decided that, because before then you can literally go to the bank and be like, put whatever dollars you want, and they'll give you that back in gold coins, or gold, right? And but I forget what president, but during the 80s, they made a law where you can no longer do that.
Damn.
So like
even
if everybody tried to get all their gold back for money, you can't do that no more. And
the banks don't have it anymore.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Wild.
Bro, that's why here in California, Central and Northern California, an ounce of gold is worth $3,000.
That's wild.
I went gold panning a while back, and it was like a little bit last year and a little bit of this year, and I mean it was almost impossible to collect that. It's impossible to collect that in dust, in specks of gold and stuff like that. It's impossible, bro. We were in like actual like gold beaches, like where beaches were like, well, not beaches. What is it called? Like rivers and lakes, whatever you want to call it, where gold's supposed to be a lot of, and there was almost nothing. I found like specks, like baby specks, like nothing. If I were to, it's gone, never being found again. Like then it was there was so much of it. It was everywhere. It was in every cave. It was in every lake. It was in every crevice.
But then it got mined and resourced, and
where's it all at?
But you know what's funny?
On your phone.
It is. It's everywhere because gold is highly conductive too. But it's fucking crazy, bro. And
it's scary, man.
But what's funny is still a piece of metal, and we gave it value. We made the price on it, right? Or the people that sell it, right? They make the price.
They distribute
it. Even diamonds too. Diamonds too. It's just
like back then, a berry was as good as a car. Like everything had value to it. Everything.
But what's crazy is
the
like
hay that we're walking on had value. Now, gold went from being able to buy you a piece of an apple to buying an apple to buying an apple tree to buying an orchard. So now you can buy people with gold.
Yep.
Sad. But, let's take a shot of Kool-Aid real fast.
All right, bet. Salud, bro.
1, 2, 3. Salud. Adentro.
But definitely we should do this again soon.
Definitely, brother.
We'll dive deeper into more topics as well.
Oh man, I got some shit for you to listen to, man. Bet. Talking about metallic metals that come from space that weigh nothing, down in the New Mexico alien crash, I want to say, down to how specific cartoons were made, but we'll get there.
Bookmark that. We're fucking doing it, bro. We're doing it.
Hell yeah, brother.
But
damn it.
Right?
Everyone. Dame. Where have you been? That smells gross.
You know what it is. I'm kidding, bro. But you were saying.
Oh, my hand died a little bit. Okay, we're back. My bad. Everybody, man, this fucking guy right here. Give me some. My hand keeps dying. Puta madre. Good? Okay. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Everyone go follow Screaming Chewy. Go to YouTube, The Screaming Chewy. Fucking definitely watch some of our older podcasts. Check out this one. If you can't, give this one a share. Give the other ones a share.
Yeah. Appreciate you, bro. And everybody listening on this side. Follow Davinco on YouTube, Davinco VR. You will be tagged, And appreciate everybody listening. And, it's been a while. But we always come back, bro. That's the thing.
Long.
Life gets busy, but we always come back. And it's almost like we come back, and it's like we never left. Like we just come back and continue where we are. That's,
every single time.
True homies right there.
It's my brother, y'all. It's my fucking brother right here.
Yeah, back at you, bro.
Dame way, motherfucker.
All right, bro. Till next time.
Everybody that's listening, it's around, June 9th right now, or 19th or something like that?
It's the 19th.
All the guys out there, happy Father's Day. All the fathers out there. Happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Everybody, check on your buddies, check on your boys, fucking, checking on them. Love you guys.
Even if you just send them a meme. But
send them all your memes.
Sheesh, bro. Peace, bro.
Peace. Sheesh.